everyone. Welcome to TV Talk with Natasha and Kimberly. I am Kimberly. That is Natasha. Say hi, Natasha.
Hello.
All right, everyone. So we're going to do a little something different here with the next couple episodes of TV Talk since we have been gone for, I don't know, 525,600 minutes, and we haven't had
That
a
was
new
accurate.
episode. We are going to, for all those Rent fans out there, we are going to go over several shows and several different episodes. So this is going to be 15.1, where we're going to discuss what happened in the last two episodes of Teen Wolf. And we've had computer problems,
Oh,
and poor Natasha over there has had the flu.
oh
So,
Lord.
yeah, whew. And she's
Whew.
like in 10 feet of snow over there on the East Coast. Poor thing. So that's how we're going to catch up for you really quickly here. So let's start off with Teen Wolf in the last two episodes, which a ton has happened, hasn't it, Natasha?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened. We got a lot more info about Styles and what's going on with him, what's going on with Lydia. Well, we're kind of figuring out what's going on with Lydia, what's going on with Scott, like what just things are happening. Kira, stuff is happening.
Lydia is still an enigma to me because I don't really understand her character, but I do like how we're seeing more about Styles and what happened to his mother and
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit of backstory, and I really, really like that. But Styles is starting to like scare me a little bit, and I'm feeling a little sorry for him, man.
And I have to give a shout out to Dylan O'Brien because he has been killing it.
Yeah.
I am definitely having the Stilinski feels, like family feels, like seriously, they need to rescue Styles and they need to rescue him now. Like, I want him back to normal, although I am loving the fact that we're still seeing a little evil side of him by the Nokusine. Yeah, that's the evil Kitsune.
That's why I let her pronounce all the big words, guys.
I may have pronounced it wrong, and I'm sorry if I did.
She's better than I could ever be with it. So, yeah, you know what? He's doing a really good acting job. I mean, because he can switch on a dime because he has to for what's going on in the character.
Yeah.
And he's just, yeah, he really is nailing it. So, great props to him. And wow, I mean, wow, right? So let's take it back an episode or two. Back,
Silverfinger was
yes,
the week before, so not this past Monday, but the Monday before.
right.
That's when I got sick. Oh yeah. So
Oh,
Silverfinger, we actually know a lot more about the demons that were after the Supernatural crew or Scott's pack, and we actually figure out what the symbol means that they left behind their ear, which is a Japanese symbol for self, and that kind of tied into this past Monday's episode too. So it's called Riddled.
yeah, we found out a little bit more about them. I mean, the majority of this episode took place in two areas. One in Scott's house, where they were trying to keep Hero safe. So it was him, his mother and his father ended up there. You've got the
Hmm.
two twins. Derek ended up there. Scott and Kira, and then the second place where a lot of information took place was with Allison and Isaac and Allison's father as they were trying to find out more information about these demons that were trying to get at them. They went to go visit a old acquaintance, shall we say,
Of
of
Daddy Argent.
yep, that he met. What was it, like 24 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
something to that effect.
the first time he actually saw these demons when he was a young pup. Gerard was a jerk. Gerard,
Yeah, he put him in this situation where he had to pretty much think on his feet. In fact, he could have been killed, and there wouldn't have been no Allison. He
that is,
encountered these creatures before, and he wound up saving Silverfinger, who is Katashi, who is played by the same guy that played in Mortal Kombat, which was really
Mortal
cool.
Kombat!
Yeah, we had to say, yeah, I got to give shout out to that because we love that movie. But
I love
um,
that movie. I saw
yeah,
it
we
like
love that
five
movie.
times in the theater.
Off topic, off topic.
Yeah.
So, he was pretty much going to like save himself. He was going to be a coward, but Daddy Argent kind of rescued him from having to be a coward in front of the people that survived that attack. And so it turned out that his boss was a Nokusene as well, which is like kind of like the evil fox that's full of mischief and chaos and just wants to create all kinds of
Watch the world burn.
yeah, just watch the world burn full of electricity. So the demons wind up killing Katashi's boss, and they're like, well, the demons are looking for someone that isn't themselves, or who is not themselves like at all. Like they have something in them that's preventing them from being themselves. And we learn in the last few minutes of the episode that it was Styles, because Scott and Kira figured out, okay, we're just going to let them see into our souls, and it worked because they gave him the mark. And again, we figured that the mark meant themselves. So that was a little humdinger. And poor Styles, we find out he's not been sleeping, and so Scott's mom gives him a sedative, and so he goes to sleep. But while he's sleepwalking, he encounters the demons, and in fact, he destroys one of them. He just, like, goes in there and just takes out his little light bug. I'm like, that poor light bug.
He destroys two, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little... Yeah, he's a little crazy. I mean, and moving into the next episode, that you see kind of what's happening there. I mean, this is runs in the family, what he's going through anyway. And and here's the thing, they're making you look at it and say, okay, his mom was suffering from delusions and insomnia and whatnot, so maybe he has some of the similar things. And in the second episode, the one that just happened on Monday, called Riddled, it was Riddled, right?
Yeah, it's Riddled.
He gets a MRI, and you see his brain, and the guy's like, well, you've got deterioration here, which makes you think that whatever he has is hereditary and it's coming from his mom. But is it really? Did this make it easier for the demon to get in, or is this being caused by the demon? See, that's what I want to know, and they don't really.
Yeah, and we're theorizing, or at least I'm thinking that maybe it's a combination of the two, because Styles did mention that this form of dementia can happen in teenagers. And so maybe it is a combination, and that's why you kept on saying, Kim, in our last few episodes, that he needed to close the door. Hashtag close the door. So he needs to still do that. Yeah, he needs to do that. And apparently his shadow, so to speak, or the evil kitsune, is like his shadow at this point, because when that thing like undid his mask, I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but I was not expecting Styles again. I was not expecting his. I kind of was, but at the same time I wasn't. I was kind of hoping it wasn't. I was kind of hoping, but it turned out to be him. And so it's like, it's even worse because it's like Scott needs to do something. What? I don't know yet. But and we also figure out that Kira's mom is in on it.
Yeah,
in fact, she is a kitsune herself.
That's at the end. Yeah. I find it hard to believe that he didn't show any of these symptoms prior to what they did to help their parents out. And all of a sudden, after they kind of died to help their parents out and came back, that everybody's having these issues, that all this is starting to manifest. I mean, that's just a very big coincidence. It could be a coincidence, but it's a very big one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And maybe he is. And I thought it was really sweet that Scott says, well, I'll do something about it.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean? Like,
he was like, all right, I'll turn you if it means that you get well. And that was very touching.
I was like, oh, bros.
Bros for life.
Hug it out. Hug it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some things in this show, like when Kira like busted that light bulb and her mom came in and changed it, and all of a sudden it was like zzz, and you're like, ooh, ooh, not telling your daughter stuff. Ooh, nobody's talking in this family. Ooh. But so I don't really understand what her mom is. She's one of those shadow demons too, like the ones that are trying to stop Styles, or what is she? Or
I
she
think
what
she's
Styles
also a
is?
kitsune.
You think she's the same thing Styles is?
No, I think she's the same thing as Kira
Oh,
because
Kira.
she had to get it from somebody, and I'm thinking it's from her mama, and it's just now manifesting because she's a teenager.
You would think they would have that talk, like that's something that you would sit down at the age of puberty and be like, we need to have the talk.
Well, they're gonna have to because her mom is like, well, I know someone that can stop you, and I'm like, is that Kira or Scott? Like, who is it?
That is a very interesting question, and I hope she doesn't mean Kira because if she
She don't
does,
know what she's doing.
they need to have a talk. Like Kira doesn't even know why she's like, she's so confused. But yeah, that's and then
Yeah, yeah.
Derek found out about Kira and how what she did allowed that demon to go into Styles.
Mhm.
Um, I was like, oh, that's not her fault though. She didn't even know. She was just trying to protect people.
No, she didn't know, and I think in a weird way that the evil Kitsune was in Styles already because of the fact that he had the guy kidnap Kira in the first place. So he had to have jumpstart something, and that was the way to do it, to have the guy kidnap her and then him be there conveniently, helping out Scott try and rescue her. And so that just jumpstart even more his mind going crazy. So
Yeah, that's true. She was already kidnapped before that happened, and he set that up. I mean, I think the whole door being open really much, I think they're all vulnerable to something
mhm,
because of what happened. Um,
mhm,
and so I guess they just picked on Styles, and like I said, I don't know if it's because he's already got some deterioration going on from something
mhm,
that's genetic that makes it easier. Um,
mhm.
ooh, but I like where this. I mean, I don't like where this is going because I love Styles. He's a great character. But I just like how it's like the story's progressing and the different things that they're doing. So
Well, and now we know why what Derek was doing like in South America because we were like, okay, why are these people speaking Espanol? And like, where is he? So we kind of have an idea now of where he was because again, he was kidnapped like in the first episode.
yeah, they were in South America where they were
Mhm.
dropping off his sister again.
Yeah, and we learned a little bit more about Derek and how where his mind is at as far as with Scott and everything because he did talk to his mom, and that's part of what he talked about with his mom because we didn't really know what he talked about with his mom. He just looked at Peter in a weird way, and maybe she also told him about what happened with Peter, but she also told him about the fact that their family pretty much protected Beacon Hills. And we have another side story with Allison and Isaac getting a Japanese voicemail message about a internment camp from way back in World War II.
Which made no sense. And then I'm like, what is that about? And then I felt sorry for Lydia because Lydia was getting blamed and she's like, no, he has to be here. I don't understand what's going on with Lydia, but it's really cool. I don't understand it. But it's really, really cool. Like, I don't understand why she thought he was there. Like, what is she seeing into? She's seeing into his mind, not what's
I
actually happening, but his
I
mind.
think she was. I also think that Jeff on Wolf Watch, which comes on right after Teen Wolf, he hinted that there's going to be another Banshee on this show. So we're hoping that by bringing another Banshee onto the show, that we'll learn more about him. You know what I mean?
She needs a
Like,
mentor.
yeah, she needs a mentor like now, and that's maybe also what she's also hearing with the voices and with the sounds and everything. Like they're kind of trying to communicate with her.
But why is she a banshee? That's the other thing. Who in her family is like they're just not made. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's just she's in Beacon Hills for crying out loud. Eventually something supernatural had to have happened with Styles. Let's be for real. And I'm really hoping that somehow his mom's spirit somehow like jumps in and be like, leave my son alone, you better jump off or I'm going to hurt you. Like, I want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy what's going on right now. But I'm excited. Like I look forward to the episodes. So that means their story is very engaging.
Hmm.
Really want to know about Mama Kira, uh, and a little bit more about that because she had like a freaking. She looked like she came ready to fight. So
Yeah.
like, don't think just because you look like a child, I won't hurt you. I'm like, yeah. Wait, I love Styles. Wait.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was looking all evil too. Like, yeah, you think you can step up to me? I don't think so. Oh boy, that'll be
Well,
interesting. Yeah, and in the next week's episode, my boy Coach gets hurt. I'm like, you better leave my boy Coach alone, cause he's like the funny person at this point.
hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I never watched the what's coming up.
Sigh.
Sorry. My DVR cuts off, so I'm just like, whatever.
Sigh.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up our TV Talk 15.1 Teen Wolf recap. Like I said, we're going to do a couple of these recaps, so you will be seeing us very shortly
Yeah.
doing the following and Helix and Arrow. So, from this episode of TV Talk, I am Kimberly. That is Natasha. You can find me at Anime23 or at The Nerd Element. And Natasha?
At WillCat12 or also at the Nerd Element.
All right, guys. See ya.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of live tweeting for the East Coast, so I do live tweet Teen Wolf. So hit me up. We can start a conversation while we're watching the episode.
Right. Bye, guys.